Welcome back to another episode at our property. We're hooking in to rebuilding our house with a 2-story addition after it suffered flood damage during one of the worst flood events the region has ever seen. We finally got the bracing details from the engineer, so we're getting stuck into reinforcing the lower level to support the new structure above. Unfortunately, turns out we have to rip out most of what's left downstairs just to make it all work. On top of that, we've got plumbing, brickwork, and even a bit of earthworks with Heath back on site. There's a lot happening, so let's get into it. Proudly supported by Opus, Ultimate 9, Superior Engineering, GME, Tie Gear, and in part by Before we get to the house rebuild, Demi and I have got a quick trip to Sydney for something very special. So let's get there and I'll explain what's going on.
Stop these tears that's falling from my eye. Go walk out in the rain.
A little bit of a journey, but we did make it through to the Grand Sheraton Hotel in Sydney where we are staying for the next 2 nights. Now don't worry, we will be back to the house rebuild content very shortly, but we figured we'd bring you guys along with us for the next couple of days in Sydney because we are doing something very exciting down here. So when our property got flooded a few months back, however long ago it was, we had a few different people reach out, offer their support, things like that, which was unreal. We really appreciated the support that everyone around us was offering. But one of those people was the director of Cullen Jewellery. He said he's been watching the channel for a few years now, enjoys the content and what we do. Anyways, we got talking, stayed in touch. Fast forward through to now. Demi and I have been wanting to go look at engagement rings for a little while now. I don't know if you've noticed in the episodes, but Demi, I think, did you mention it maybe once? I can't remember.
I don't reckon.
Don't reckon?
I think you just wanted to.
I don't think anyone's ever heard Demi mention that she wants to get married. I got a question for you.
I will marry you, yes.
That's what I was going to say.
I knew it. This is exactly how I pictured it.
Anyways, we wanted to... I'm not very good at choosing stuff myself. We all know that. I'm not great at organising things either, to be honest. Anyways, we wanted to come look at engagement rings. So I reached out to Cullen Jewellery, find out how it works, set up an appointment in their showroom, which our closest showroom is in Sydney, which is where we are now. And then they were kind enough to organise a whole weekend to Sydney for us. So they organised the flights, accommodation at this nice hotel, and then we've got an appointment tomorrow to go look at engagement rings. So this is pretty much your dream come true.
Like I said in the previous episode, I get what I want.
and here we are.
He hasn't got anything against him to make him want to do this. It's out of the kindness and love of his heart.
No threats have been made.
That's not what I told you to say.
So obviously we got the appointment tomorrow, but we got the weekend, a couple nights in Sydney, so we're going to take some time, relax, enjoy it, and see if we can find some fun things to do in Sydney while we are here. But I tell you what,
Relax.
Yeah, I am starving, so you know the first thing we need to go do?
Vietnamese.
Get some food, and we do really like Vietnamese at the moment. What did you get, Zeffy?
Fishing.
And what did we get?
Vietnamese. I've secured the goods. Where are we going?
That monster.
Getting a monster truck.
Of course, what are we doing anytime we're near shops?
Monster truck!
You gonna get that one? Show us what you got. You want this one, the Beetle.
Is this the best day of your life?
Oh. This has the same. Oh, this has the same.
We got some fancy chocolates for dessert, looked around the city. Demi went shopping for blind box stuffed toys, couldn't decide, so tried to win some at the arcade, realised that's basically impossible, so went back to the shop and bought some.
This cute thing.
What are these that you got?
Babe Beside You series plush blind box. Which one do you want? You want the green one? Which one did you get? Whoa! You got the purple one. I want the pink one, obviously. Don't be purple. Oh my god! I was gonna say I wanted that one too.
Best day of your life.
Can we go get more?
Yeah, like, I'm not joking. So Max Brenner for dessert and then back to the hotel to relax before the big day tomorrow. The big day is upon us. How's it feel?
Okay, I always knew that we were going to go look at engagement rings, but I'm going to go look at engagement rings, so I'm slightly weirded out by it.
We just had breakfast, but that
so good.
was the best buffet breakfast I've ever had. It was wild the amount of things that they had down there. They had multiple hot food sections. You can make your own juice, a full pastry section.
A guy making eggs.
There was a lot of stuff.
Is it the look in your eyes, or is it this dancing juice?
Getting married.
I think I wanna marry you.
We're here. This is scary. It's on like a,
It's like by appointment only, it's fancy.
you know, to get buzzed in.
Yeah,
I feel like this is too fancy.
I didn't dress very well. Fanciness.
Oh, come on, girl. Who cares?
This is so exciting. I'll get a D, a flawless, an excellent, and 5 carats. Thank you very much.
So the colour, that is just the amount of colour in your actual stone. And we recommend between D or F to sit around that really colourless range, because going down that's when there can be more warmth and yellowness in your stone. The clarity, that refers to the blemishes and imperfections in your diamond. For an eye clean range, we recommend from VS1 and above, because if you go down that's when those imperfections are a bit more visible to the naked eye.
Yep.
To be completely honest, if you're in F and above, VS1 and above, I would be through with that just because they have been graded using really intense magnification. So unless you're using a magnifying glass on a daily basis, an F to D, VS1 to flawless will look identical to the naked eye. You just don't have to pay literally an arm and a leg for the stone.
Yep.
I would focus more on these two just because you will always see size and sparkle before this. The cut, that has everything to do with how well the light behaves within your stone. So essentially the sparkle of it. Having everything up here is kind of pointless if this is down there.
Yep.
So you always want to make sure that is on excellent. And the carat is really personal preference and what the person feels comfortable with.
Yep.
This one is a 3 carat, and I think that's kind of what you're thinking as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, I wouldn't hesitate to go high.
Okay, there's that as well. Good to know. Did that kind of make sense? Do you have any questions regarding that?
No,
that makes sense.
I can also look these ones up on my system to see how these ones are graded to kind of give a bit of a visual of how they can look in person.
And if it's obviously the pink
The pink,
vibes, what is that?
These two
Different?
are there. This isn't. So pink
Okay.
is graded differently,
Yep.
but I mean, these two will still remain the
Yeah,
same.
okay.
But feel free to start trying those on if you like.
Oh, girl, I like you. I do. I wanna be a friend, go shopping in a Benz. I like you. I do. I hit you in a
That's so nice. The pink would look better on my skin tone.
How are you finding these other options, or I can bring out some other things out as well?
If you just want to choose some things, I
Yeah,
have
for
no
sure.
idea, so I'm
Fair
happy. I'm
enough.
open
I mean,
to.
if you wanted to have a look as well, you definitely are more than welcome to.
yeah, your boyfriend, I never understand me. Cause I'm about to pull this girl like a hammy.
That might be my favourite one so far.
Yeah, that one's nice.
This one is a 3 carat.
I'm set. I do like the rose gold. Do you like the rose gold?
I do. Rose gold's my favourite colour.
Do you have any preferences for the quality of the
I mean-
stone?
Like somewhere like there and there.
Yeah. I mean, you are wearing it for literally the rest of your life, so you
I know.
definitely want to be happy with it.
See? It's an investment, babe. It's an investment.
100%.
You don't want to be like Conrad Fisher. I mean, you don't want to be like Jeremy Fisher and have
The ring
the
ceremony.
ring. It's like, where's the ring? It's like a plain band.
You see
These
how
are all,
this one-
they're all lab diamonds, aren't they?
Yeah, all lab diamonds. We don't really work with mine stones, but we do have moissanite as well as another alternative gemstone.
Yeah.
You? No, that is true though. I'm happy to go what she said. Anything from there to there. And then obviously I wanted excellent. And then 3 carat is like, that's a nice size.
That's a 4 carat.
You can't tell me that's not cute.
Whatever makes you happy.
Good answer.
That's I've never heard that answer before.
within the budget.
Oh, there we go. There it is. Is that too many diamonds, guys?
More diamonds, more better.
They don't wanna see us get too okay. I just got a feeling that we might be friends for a long, long time. You're mine, and you know I like you for that.
I like you, I do. I wanna be a friend, go shopping in a Benz. I like.
I think that's going to be simple and able to wear every day,
Yeah.
but has like a little tinge of like my personal point. We made it. And then you're going to engrave something cute inside it.
How was that?
That was so fun.
That was the best day of your life.
Yeah.
And look at that, you actually made a decision.
That's so nice. I'm so excited.
Lakin had been watching Zeph while we were at the appointment. And look at that, Zeph scored himself some more monster trucks. We all went to the arcade for the afternoon. Demi tried to win some more fluffy toys, came to the same conclusion as yesterday. Impossible. So I went back to the shop to get 2 more blind boxes before we left Sydney.
We bought 2 more Babe Beside You blind boxes because Zeffy wanted the green one and I wanted the pink one, so hopefully we get that in these ones. You can have that one, sure. You can choose which one you want. Which colour are you trying to get?
Oh, green. Oh, green.
Alright, let's go. Is this the best day ever?
Open.
Rip it open, guys!
Imagine if he gets the green one.
If we get the same colour as what we've already got, I'll be so Deborah.
Green.
Stop it.
You got the green one!
Oh my god!
That's the one you wanted.
Oh, yeah.
He got the green one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mum's turn.
What one does Mum want?
So we've got the purple one. Zeffy got that yesterday. I got the beige one yesterday. Then Zeffy got the green one. I want the secret or the pink one. Ready?
Yeah. Your big one.
Stop it.
Wow. I can't believe you both got the exact ones you wanted.
That's the best day ever.
That's wild.
This is what makes them so addictive.
Now you gotta go get more. Let's go.
Dad said we could. I can't. I'm shook. I'm shook.
Mama,
You cannot tell me that is not so scrumptiously cute.
I still can't work out whether she was more excited for the engagement ring or the blind boxes. Anyways, we went out for dinner and then the next day we were on our flight home to get stuck back into the house renos. That was an awesome weekend away in Sydney. Shout out to the team at Colour & Joy who organised that all for us. And that was a really nice experience there. Demi had the absolute time of her life. So obviously something like that, the one person can just go and choose the ring for the other person, but I didn't trust myself to do that. So I figured Demi and I'd go together. She could show me what ring she wanted or give me some ideas sort of thing, and then I can go back and get that when the time is ready. Anyways, we're back home now. There's plenty to do, so no time to waste. I'll give a quick update on a few things that went on while we were away. Matt, Berto's brother, has done most of the electrical work fit out that he can, so all the power points are now all at 550, and he started moving like switches and that to where they're going to be. He's also pulled out all the fans, and they're all outside there. Well, that's a bit bright. They're all outside there to be gotten rid of. As I said, not a single fan in this house was matching, and they were all pretty old, so we're just going to get a new set the whole way through, nice and fresh and matching. And the builders came back and did a little bit more, so they've moved this wall that way, so that's the new wall there, and they've removed the center wall in this room, and they've started the framing for the wardrobe there. So they've just been continuing with all the framing in this downstairs area, which is getting towards being done down this end of the house. I spoke to Dane yesterday, the builder. He said they're just waiting on the bracing detail from the engineer, which they are hoping to have today. And providing they have that today, they're going to be here tomorrow to start making the bracing that is required down this end of the house in the walls and that, so then we can start sheeting. To start off today though, the first job that Demi and I are going to do is that old window and that old ensuite window there both need to be filled in. They're being deleted, being filled in with bricks. Now it's going to be extremely difficult to buy a matching brick that matches the bricks that we used on this house. So the ideal thing in this scenario is there's leftover bricks from the build that can be used to fill in the hole. And thankfully for us, there is. So there and over there is two big sections of bricks that they've obviously used to just make little paths there that would have been left over from the house. So that's good news. We can pull them up and use them to fill in the holes in the window, so it'll save us the cost of buying more bricks, and it'll mean we will get the matching brick to the house as well. So Demi and I have to pull them up, gurney and clean them off, and obviously let them dry out, because the bricklayer is talking about coming later this week or early next week to use those bricks to fill in the windows. You keen?
So keen.
Let's go.
Yay.
Demi and I quickly worked out this job was a massive pain in the ass and was going to take hours and hours, and definitely not worth the couple of $100 we would save against buying some new bricks. I rang the bricklayer to see how important it was to get the matching brick, like use the matching brick that we had there, and he said if we are planning on potentially leaving it, or even if we are painting the bricks because you want the matching pattern that's on them, probably worth doing. He said only if we are rendering it, it will be a waste of time, but we want to keep our options open at this point, so hours of cleaning bricks it was. They had moss on them too, which was very difficult to get off. We had a break from cleaning bricks to try finish off cleaning the pool area, as we aren't too far off getting the concrete poured for it. All these old bits of silicone or whatever it is that was used to attach the tiles to the pool is what we are trying to get out. And then the kids got home from school and I offered 50 cents for each brick cleaned. Jasper was keen as and spent about an hour and a half doing it, but he got 50 bricks done and earned himself $25. A little fire on Darche, and that was another day done and dusted. The builders arrived the next morning and we were straight back into it. Unfortunately, the bracing detail had not been sent through by the engineer yet, but we were hoping to have it later in the morning. In the meantime, I was on demo duties again. We decided to rip out the remaining gyprock out of the hallway, as there was so much patchwork to be done. You want a hallway to look really nice when you look down it, and the walls actually weren't fully straight, so the builders wanted to try and straighten them up a bit once the gyprock was off. And then while I was going with that, they had a last couple of frames to pull down and rearrange to complete the bottom level layout of our new build. And then the bracing detail arrived from the engineer. Not good news. Let me just start ripping out the rest of the house and then I'll explain the situation. Fun times, heaps and heaps going on, which is a good thing, but it's just chaos. And I love that pretty much every single wall in the house has to come off now. Like, the insurance stripped it all out nicely to $1,200, and then Demi and I went around and got off some bits and pieces to move the walls. And now it's just got to the point where the whole thing needs to go, so we could have just done this from the start. But anyways, here we are now. Most of the roof is going to be able to stay at least, which is one good thing. But I ripped out this whole hallway here this morning. The builder said they want to try and straighten it up as well. They said there's a bit of curve in it, so they want to try and get it dead straight, which is one of the reasons they wanted it all off. Plus they said it just wasn't really worth patching the hallway. You want your hallway to be nice. And then we received that bracing plan, which everyone was impressed with the amount of work that's required for that. They were really hoping the engineer was going to do a strap bracing, but he hasn't. He's done the plywood bracing. So that's just strap bracing there, like triangle metal things across the walls. And we still would have had to pull off pretty much the same amount of walls with the strap bracing anyway, but the painful thing with the plywood bracing, which having a look at this wall for example, you're gonna have like hardwood, plywood, 5mm thick sections, I don't know exactly where they're going to put them, but on a section of wall like this. And they said normally with a brick home, you would do it like on the outside and then put your bricks on after, but obviously that's already done. We're not going to rip all our wall frames out, meaning it has to be on the inside, which means you've got 5mm bracing coming out from here, which means you can't put your gyprock and sheets on the same spot because you'll be 5mm out, which means you have to make every frame in your house where like 5mm out so it all matches up. Otherwise, where the bracing is, your gyprock's going to be 5mm out more than the other section. So it just requires a whole lot more work. Plus they said they have to change all the window architraves or something. They have to like do something there because they're not going to line up with the walls now either. So like it's all doable, but a lot more money for me and more work for them. Just building budget blowouts. I'm sure there'll be plenty of these coming up in the build. So anyways, as you can see, I've been ripping off heaps of the rest of the walls. The builders have gone to the shops to get all that plywood and all the things they need to start working their way around the house doing all the bracing, because at least once all the bracing is done within the walls, there's a couple more plumbing things and electrical things need to tidy up, but then we can start sheeting. So that wall there doesn't have to go, so that's a win. We saved one little bit of wall, but yeah, everything else, goodbye, gone, gone. Everything you can see remaining in those rooms, gone. The only one is down the end. That room that down there doesn't have to come off, but that garage wall does have to come off. So there's going to be a lot more work over the next couple of days, stripping out the house. I'm just going to do all the stripping out. Demi's back now too, so she should be able to give a hand, but at least with Demi and I doing all the demo, saving us a bit of cost, paying the builders, and at least now we're working together as a team, because we'll do the stripping and they'll come behind us and do the bracing. What do you reckon? What's your thoughts?
It feels like so much more open and nice and like makes so much more sense.
Yeah, well, I've deleted all this wall here and put the framing up for the new corner there. So we're pretty much at the final layout now, the bottom area, which is good.
Yeah.
All the framing's done.
There's so much room for activities.
Yeah. I'll quickly show you on our house plan here, because the builders have drawn this all up based on what the engineers sent them. So assumably they've got MB, which will be metal bracing, HB, which would be your hardwood bracing. So you can see like it has to go everywhere. And then TD for tie down. So they have to do a threaded metal rod, which will get drilled down into the concrete slab at the bottom, or the like bits of wood at the bottom. And that'll be threaded rod, which will go up to hold the roof on, the colorbond roof. So the engineer wants all these tie down points as well. So there's a lot of bracing that needs to happen. But yeah, obviously once these are all in the walls, the engineer's happy, then it can be sheeted. So back to demos it was. Not really sure what happened to Demi. I only really seemed to see her when she'd come in to show me some new extravagant things she wanted to include in the build. Darren and Gary were back with all the supplies for the bracing, and they were hooking in and getting it done. They did spend some time too straightening up the framework down the hallway. With all the bracing in place, the boys started setting up the timbers in the walls that are required to mount the James Hardy water-resistant panelling we will be putting back in. I'd finished all my demo work inside, so I figured I'd head outside and finish pulling down the garden shed that we were replacing with a fresh garden shed and concrete slab, as we weren't too far off prepping and pouring the slab for it. That's all the bracing done down this end of the house. They have started a couple of bits and pieces down this end, but as I said, their main concern is just getting us back in these 4 bedrooms and getting the bathroom and laundry operational. On some of your walls, which is all the internal walls, I believe, you got your strap bracing, and then on the external walls you got your plywood bracing. And then in amongst that you got your metal rods, which are attached down into the stud, and then the stud is also bolted through to the concrete there as well, so reinforce that, and then that will go up into the roof there, which I believe that's just all about holding on the new roof, because they're going from a concrete tile to a colour bond style roof. It is a bit annoying that the engineer has chosen this wood bracing for certain sections of the house, but like it's fully waterproof wood, like it's a hardwood. Dane was saying they have it on open job sites for, you know, weeks when it gets torrential rain on and stuff like that. It's not a problem. It's made to handle like water and that, but it's just another thing that we'll have to dry out within the walls, and sort of, you know, does close it off a little bit more, but it shouldn't be the end of the world. And then because you brought that out 5mm, you have to bring out the rest of the frame on any section of wall where there is that bracing, so that you can neatly attach all your sheeting to it. And then all these, which they've put up around everywhere, that is to attach the James Hardie panel groove to, which is the fully waterproof paneling that we are doing from 1200 down. Now I'll go through it a bit more when we actually do it, but the plan is to like have it up a little bit so that if it does flood, all that sheeting will be fine because it's fully 100% waterproof. And then what we'll do is we'll just rip the skirting board off, and that will expose, say, up to like here on all the walls, and then you can just let all the wood dry out, because that's the main thing, getting your wood dry within your walls. But with the skirting board pulled off, opens all up, you can let it all dry and air out. And then on your external walls, like, you also got the weep holes on the other side, so yeah, you got air coming and going both ways. So it's hard to work out the exact perfect plan, but I think that's the best one we can come up with. It's going to be minimal damage if water goes through the house, other than just the skirting boards will have to be replaced. And you pretty much can just hose the place out and then let it dry for a couple of weeks, put some blowers and dehumidifiers in here if it's really wet. Anyways, that's pretty much ready to start putting all the James Hardie panel groove up now. Dane just has to come here on Monday morning with the engineer for him to confirm he's happy with it, all that's been done so far. And then they can start their sheeting. So the builders will do that, and then the following week the plasters are booked in to come, and they will do up from 1200 and go over all the ceilings and get it all fully ready for paint. But in the meantime, next job we got to tick off is doing the plumbing in this bathroom here with Dad. So he's going to be here first thing in the morning. We've got to move these 2 pipes over to just here somewhere, which that'll be quick and easy just to match where the basin's going to be on the vanity. But then in the bathroom here, we pretty much have to do a whole new rough-in. So we're going to cut off the copper pipes here. This is Ozpex, which Dad doesn't work with. You can hire a tool and sort of set it all up and make it work, but we're just going to cut it, go all nice copper through here. And we also wanted to change the taps and shower rows and all that as well. Meaning we're going to remove those bodies that were there, and rather than trying to like all adapt in and change it all around and that, yeah, we're just going to go again with copper. So I got these sitting here ready to go, which are the 2 new bodies which are going to go in the wall, and then we can set it all up. We do have our old tapware that came out of here, but Demi really hated it and really wanted new stuff. So combined with the fact that this is Ozpex, which Dad didn't really want to muck around with, he just wanted to do the whole thing again in copper. Demi jumped on the opportunity to say, hey, can we just get new tap bodies in the wall to match the new taps that I want too? So we're just going to do it again. It's not a huge job. It's only just those couple things there. But anyways, I'll be back in the morning into it with Dad. And then we'll release the water pressure at a low point. And I'm just going to leave that on so it can keep sort of slowly drizzling and releasing out of there. And that'll mean when I cut these in a sec, the water's just not going to come blasting out here everywhere at us. As you can see, you still get some water out of them, but would have been a whole lot worse if I hadn't released the pressure outside. With the water off and copper cut, it was time to remove the old tap bodies and water lines from the wall, and then we capped off the copper lines so we could temporarily still have our water on at the property. That's the water cap now, which will allow us to do all this work, and I can go turn the water back on. We got the spec sheets for the bath and the shower rows and all that, which will make sure we have all our heights right for where we want to put our spouts and taps and stuff like that. So that bath's 600, which is like around here. So if we put it up here around that 750, that'll be good to turn on and have your spout into your bath. So the copper gets bent using benders, welder fitting on the end which goes into the tap body, making sure to put thread tape and sealant on the fitting before you screw it into the tap body. Then you just kind of start working your way back from there, creating all the copper lines to run to the various points they need to provide water. There's the bath mixer body mounted to the wall. So that'll be your hot, which will connect into this hot here. That'll be your one out, which will go to your spout. And this is going to be the cold, which is going to come down and up into that one. And then off that, we have to redo this copper line out to our outside tap there. And off this hot, we'll have to go that way over the shower. And as the cold comes up here, we'll have to go over to the shower somewhere as well. Now you have to make sure all your copper lines are kept within the frames of the timber, so as to ensure all the wall sheets can be laid on flat once the bathroom rough-in is done. To do this, you notch out sections of timber or drill holes through it where the copper can run. That'll be the hot there, which will run across the shower. So you got hot, shower, down, mixer, out, spout. And then we're about to make a noggin across there, which is where we will mount the bath spout.
I'll have a look to see if I'm satisfied with it out in the light.
You've been using the MAP gas bottle. Now what's this you're upgrading to?
We're going to the Oxy. Every water service I've ever done's been with an Oxy.
So how come you're using the MAP gas before?
Oh, just a bit of a start, just to get us looking like we've done something.
But this is what, just higher heat, better to work with?
Yeah, easy to work with the tip, easy to roll the tip around with the Oxy once you start getting into these tight little corners. Yeah, he's good as gold.
That's coming together there now, but Dad said he wants to start. You want to get what the mixer body mounted
Yeah,
over
we'll
here.
build a mixer body in the wall here, and then we can link it all up.
And
And
then
our
start it.
manifold of copper will be here.
And then it'll be starting to look like something.
Yeah. Right, he's well and truly back. Up here, he's well and truly back.
So it all needs to be within the parameters of the wall studs.
Yeah, so they can shoot out flat.
Yeah. We kept working through it step by step, but we did actually have Heath outside doing some work too. So Demi's going to take over for a little bit and I'll explain to you guys what's going on with Heath.
I could be a plumber.
Demi's taken over.
As always, they wanted the professional in here.
So Demi's taken over the plumbing for 10-15 minutes, help out Dad while I go out and film and explain some of what's going on outside here. Like always, it is just chaos at our house every day between trying to run the four-wheel drive business in the shed and all that side of things, and then all this house stuff, and it's just lots going on. But anyways, Heath has been here all morning while Dad and I have been inside plumbing, and he's been sorting out all this dirt at the front here to keep council happy. So he removed most of it in his truck, so he took a couple of big loads out of here. And then once majority is gone, he's obviously just compacted and spread it and kneaded it off so the grass can grow back over there. So he's done that on both sides down over in there as well. You can see that's pretty much flat there. There's still a hump here, but there's always been a hump there. Our water mains is through that, so we can't take that out without redoing a whole water mains, and that's I'm not going to do that. That's ridiculous. And then the rest of the afternoon, I just got him doing some other bits and pieces around here. So he's removing all that rubble from over the pool area that we had left over, all the tiles and pavers and bits and pieces there, removing what he can. So he's putting in a truck and he's taking that out. And then on the way back from getting that, I believe he's going to get a bit more gravel to finish off that driveway area up to the road. Anyways, I'll film and show off a bit of what Heath's doing while Demi does some plumbing, then I'll be back in helping Dad plumbing shortly. All those pavers and bits of concrete and various things that Heath is taking away, so he takes them out to a farm, so that way I don't have to pay for disposal of them. I'm just paying for his time. but they're being taken out to a farm where they're being crushed up and used to make road base and stuff, make some roads out there. So it's not like I'm paying heaps of money, just I suppose 2-3 hours of heaps of time to get rid of them. Anyways, it is good to get all that, start getting cleared out and rubbish removed, get this dirt sorted out the front. There's heaps going on. Dad's just gone to get a couple more plumbing supplies and a bit of lunch, and then Demi and I are gonna have some lunch here too, and then we'll be back into more plumbing, and I'll keep trying to film what Heath's doing as well. Look at this, we got tuna salad and rice for lunch. That's your shower body mixer in place, up to the shower rose there. Just keep working our way backwards. There's also a tap outside there, so the cold's still got a link in, come down, link into that, and then link into the tap outside. So far we've been working with 1/2 inch copper, but the outside tap we will be doing in 3/4 inch copper, which is a fair bit harder to bend. How much harder are these ones?
If you don't want to do it, we can get around it.
No, I'm happy to do it. I just wondering.
No, quite a bit harder. Beautiful.
Now, playing with this outdoor tap, which has to go out through the brickwork there, is the old one just came across the front here because they had a bath which worked with that setup, but our new bath we're using is wall, so it can't come out like that or it's going to interfere with the bath. So that's why I've got to go through the framework there, so it'll come along through into behind the cavity there, 90 across, and then out through the brick. That's everything really starting to come together now. That weld behind the wall was a nightmare. But yeah, all of it's starting to come together pretty much up to the point now where I've just turned the water off. We're going to undo these and start doing our final couple of connections, final couple of welds, and then be able to turn the water on and test it all. Now, a lot of plumbers don't actually use copper anymore, but it's still what Dad does all his work in. Now, don't quote me exactly, but from what I understand, the main reason copper isn't used as much is it is a fair bit more time consuming compared to how quickly you can get this sort of work done with the plastic type pipes they use that are all crimped together. Plus, copper is a bit more expensive. But copper is generally considered a longer lasting material, improved water quality rather than all your house water running through plastic pipes, more leak proof, especially when welded like this over using copper crimpers, and it is pest and fire resistant. That's all the copper work, all done. Shower, bath, and then we also adjusted the vanity over here as well because it was there. It needs to come here to match our new basin and vanity. So we've checked over everything. We think it's good. Now it was time to turn the water on and make sure.
Test time.
Hope nothing leaks. You confident?
The cavity weld is of concern. There's no doubt about that. But if we get in trouble with that, we'll cap it and we'll do it another way. There's test one. We're looking good, aren't we?
We just got to put a couple of saddles on and that's it. It looks better than all the plasticky stuff.
Oh, that's a tidier looking job than that mess that was there, isn't it? Yeah. By a long shot.
No leaks, successful day. That is all that bathroom rough-in done. And it looks a whole lot better in copper and not all that spaghetti mess they had in the walls there before. Heath didn't end up coming back to Savo. He called me. By the time he dropped all that stuff at the farm, it was 3 o'clock. The quarry closes at 3, where he needed to pick up the remaining topping gravel, the 20mm blue metal to finish off the driveway out the front. So he just stayed out that way in his truck because that's where he lives anyway. He's going to come back Monday morning first thing. He'll pick up the load, bring it here, finish off the section of that driveway up the front there with the gravel, and finish tidying up the few bits of rubble and that he's got over there. The few remaining bits he said he couldn't take out to the farm, so he's just going to put them in the yellow bin we got out the front there. But anyways, that's us for another big day done at the place. I'll be back probably tomorrow because Dad's got to come back and we got to do a bit more plumbing here over the weekend. Next day, back onto the brick situation. We've got about 100 here that we've washed, so we've still got about 50 more to go. Today's Saturday afternoon. The brickie is starting on Monday, so we're going to try and get these few things finished over the weekend. So more bricks to wash, but he said if we want, so I'm going to give it a crack, start prepping all this for him. 1, 2 windows that he needs to fill in, and what that means is he said he needs this gone and all the half bricks gone as well. because you obviously just want full bricks to match it in to what the rest of the house is. So I'm going to start trying to chop the half bricks out and get all these up. So I got myself a Recipro saw with a masonry blade on the end or whatever it is, the right one to chop out brick mortar. And we'll start chopping and we'll see if this is like a 1 hour job or a 2-day job. Hopefully more towards the 1 hour side, but I'm sure it's at least going to take a few hours. Fun. Honestly, not actually too bad. I thought it was going to be worse than that. That only took, I don't know, 10 minutes and I got 1, 2, 3 half bricks out. So I suppose it's still going to be a couple of hours. But I'll get what I can done now until Dad gets here, because I'm helping him doing some plumbing. And then Demi will be home soon, so I'm hoping to nominate her to keep going with these when I'm doing plumbing. I was hoping to count these in the 150 bricks, but they're chopped off, so more bricks to wash. I got that bottom bit off and that whole half in about 15-20 minutes. Just got that one to do, so it's not too bad. But Dad just turned up for plumbing, so I'm going to switch to that. The first job Dad and I are doing is blocking off the old floorways, sewerways, whatever you call them, from the old kitchen and ensuite. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 ensuite holes there to block up. And then we got a kitchen one over there. Quick explanation of what the plan is of how you block old floorways and sewerways off.
We've always blocked them up by making a plastic ball. We used to use cement bags on sites. We've got a bit of plastic material here. We'll compress that into a ball, put a plastic bag around it, compress it really tight so it's hard to push down that floorways hole we're going down, so it jams down in there. And we dug up one on a job here a month ago, which looks like it had been there from day one, 40 years ago or something. And it looked like it had gone down there yesterday, so it doesn't seem to break down once it's concealed underground like this. Then we'll cement it up and render it good for the tile work that's got to be done over the top of it. Yep, and then open up your cement bag. The common ratio is 4:1. And that, yep, that's where you intended.
That's the first one done, not too bad. What do we got? 4 more to go. You have to be careful too that you don't go so deep and block up any like cross flows of waste going past it the other direction. But we're all good in this circumstance because we're doing here and over there. And then the only other floor waste in this whole downstairs area in that room over there, and they go out to the sewer, which is just outside that door there. So doing this over here ain't gonna block up anything over in that direction. There's no sewer or nothing that way. Plumbing was done. Demi and I smashed out the rest of the bricks over the weekend to get them ready for the bricklayer the following week. And that brings us to the end of another house rebuild episode. If you are enjoying these episodes, make sure to drop a comment and subscribe so you don't miss any of our upcoming content. I'll see you guys in the next one.
Same done.
We've got approximately 150 bricks cleaned. That window and that window cleaned up and ready for the bricklayer tomorrow.